done nothing but more or less go up over a longer period of time, hitting as high as over $1 trillion market cap, though retreating recently, in part because their business continues to grow at a rapid rate. So your point now is that perhaps that will stop, that perhaps the advertisers are thinking differently?
That and Apple. And
right, which is the iOS, which you have to opt in.
Right.
And by the way, that's not just an issue for Facebook. That's an issue for any number of the apps that we all deal with every day that collect your information and obviously try to use it to help their business or a center of their business.
Right. Now, Apple has chosen to be a single source of truth, as Mark Benioff says. They've been willing to say that's clearly not this opt. They don't want us to be able to get stuff that we don't want. Will the documents be used against Facebook? I think that if you are a major consumer products goods company, there'll be someone in the room at the board who will say, you know what, this is different. Now, look, I use Instagram for our restaurants. It's terrific. The small business stuff is terrific. I've been a somewhat defender the whole way, saying that, you know what, I didn't think their business would be hurt. Now, the documents indicate if you made major changes, would it matter? Everything always matters to make major changes. But you have to choose truth. And I look at those documents, and I don't think they chose truth. I think they chose obfuscation, and clearly they chose daily average users. I mean, I go through this with Twitter, where I say, listen, would you please take down the horrendous things that are said that I can't have my children possibly look at? And they will not do, they'll say, yeah, we'll take some down. But they use a lot of First Amendment protection, and, you have every right. That bullying is a sensitive topic. Sensitive meaning that they won't take things down even though you're being bullied. So I'm looking, all of social media, as Dave and I were saying beforehand, could be really upended by what Apple's doing. And that is more important in some ways than what the documents showed. But look, let's just admit, there were more people who read that series and watched 60 Minutes than there's been any time that Facebook has been on the firing line. And, I mean, heads have to roll. I have to see serious heads rolling. I mean, people were involved. Now, look, I don't think that Mark Zuckerberg has to roll his head.
Well, although there is the idea that maybe his super voting shares are at risk, right? Maybe somebody comes in and says, look, let's rearrange the ownership structure where he does have more accountability. Is that possible?
Well, when you have the voting share, you have the voting share, so you need a vote in order to do that. So basically, he has complete control in perpetuity, which is important to point out because that wasn't always the case.
But this time's different. Advertisers.
Yeah.
Apple. I mean, I'm just saying that he needs to do something in order to be able to restore some faith here. Do you think faith was lost, as I do?
What, that he would voluntarily give up voting control?
No, that he has to try to figure out a wholesale
and change his board? Well,
I just think that he has to say, listen, we've done wrong. How about this? How about something that I also wish that Carlos Watson had done? We've screwed up. This is bad. Our culture has to change. We have to start giving the resources that are necessary to this. Now, I don't think it's a total... David, I don't think